Talk about shifting from Open Cup to now back to MLS play after kind of a high last night.
Well, I mean, obviously it's a great accomplishment to get to the Open Cup final, especially for the fourth straight year, and with the opportunity now to win four in a row. But it's our focus is also on league. We had a good performance against Colorado on Sunday. We've had a couple of good ties on the road, especially in Salt Lake, which is a difficult place to play. We now need to go into New York. We need to perform well. We need to continue the form that we're on, and try and go into New York and get points.
What do you think of Ozzy's PK? Turned out to be the winning goal.
It was good. It was good. I mean, he actually hit that one in practice the day before, and so it's what you're comfortable with. I mean, if you see the goalkeeper going, then that's not a bad place to put the ball down the middle. It's a little cheeky. Sometimes teams don't like it, so they may kick you afterwards if you hit a penalty like that. I remember Carlos Ruiz's first penalty for me in LA in the league. He did that to Zach Thornton, and he immediately got upended the next time he touched the ball against Chicago. And I said, well, what you expect? He goes, oh, okay. So I said, I wouldn't make that your first PK. But, he just has to be prepared. Obviously, as people watch PKs and into the future, the next one he has is, is that the right one? Is it something different? But it was good. It was cheeky.
He gets these goals and assists. Is he a different player at all in the Open Cup?
No, I think he's the same player. I think really, though, over the last 3 games or so, Ozzy's really taken a step forward in terms of some of the things that he's doing on the field, in terms of his directing and his leadership and so forth have been more evident for sure.
Any update on
Gasperni we're going to take with us to New York. Want him to continue to train. I mean, he looked good today. He's pretty sharp. We wanted to keep him in team situations, so we'll see. We'll make a decision when we're in New York as to what his role will be in New York.
With all the injuries this year to your various keepers, and I guess even going back to Boston, I mean, have you ever had this kind of a casualty count at the goalkeeper position?
Yeah, I did. My first year in Columbus, I think we went through 5 of them. I had 2 guys break their wrists within a week of each other. We had John Bush do his ACL. So I think we ended up having 5 different starting goalkeepers. In fact, we even brought a former goalkeeper of mine who was a backup for me at the Galaxy. We brought him out of retirement. He was the goalkeeper coach for North Carolina, Francie State actually, and played 1 game and went back into retirement. But yeah, unfortunately, I've been through it.
You just bring up someone going into retirement, coming out of retirement, and hinting towards something.
What's that? Us right now, currently? Yeah, we could have maybe brought him in. We could have brought him in as well. So.
With the game in New York, what does it mean to finally get the East Coast trips out of the way, kind of like have a more regular practice schedule?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of travel, so the East Coast trips, once we get them out of the way, then the CONCACAF trips come up. And trying to go to Trinidad, believe me, is no easy task. We've been looking at that one for a while. But it's good to get that out of the way because you lose, like you say, you lose training days. We lose a training day on Friday. We lose a training day somewhat coming back on Monday. We got to get them back here and get them on the field so guys can regen. So it makes it difficult in that way. So it's good to get that out of the way, definitely.
You talked yesterday about Eddie and Freddie being dangerous together. We've seen obviously Mauro and Eddie. Are you starting to see kind of that whole group of attacking players mesh as a unit now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the understanding is growing together. I think Eddie's first goal was a really good example of the team being aware of his pace and timing. And the ball pushed through by Ozzy is important. And I think all those guys, as the team gets healthy too, they recognize there's competition. And when there's competition, everybody sort of steps up their game a little bit. And we're a proud team. We know we're better than we were during that run of games. And we're getting back to the level of play that we had at the beginning of the season.
Did we see last weekend maybe one of Flacco's better games in a while?
Yeah, I think he's getting a better understanding of what I'm looking for, what I need. It was great to see him get on the board, and get a goal. We need him to continue to be goal dangerous. I mean, I think he had 9 goals for us last year, And certainly getting goals from him is important. And and you saw last night when you start getting goals from your midfielders. Evans got a goal last night. Flacco got a goal on Saturday. Getting goals on set pieces, all that makes your team more dangerous.
The travel support that you guys are, I mean, it seems like there's already a sense that there's going to be a decent amount of travel support going to Kansas City for this game. Is that something that you guys look at and take particular pride in seeing big crowds travel with you?
Yeah, we definitely take pride in it, and we also take a responsibility in it, because I think it makes us, want to achieve better on the road than maybe some other teams do when they go on the road. Everybody wants to win and achieve, but when you see so many fans are spending money to come and follow you and to be there, you really want to reward them for their trip and send them home happy, is an important thing for us. So we're very proud of the fact that we have a good group that wants to travel. I know there's a lot of fans that want to go and be there on what could be a very momentous occasion for us. And I think it's great. I think it's great, and hopefully they'll make enough noise to drown out the Kansas City people.
You think there's a set number that you'd like to see that Kansas City make tickets available for Sounders fans?
Like about 15,000. Would that work? Would that work? If we could make 15,000 available to Sounder fans, I think that would be good.
You have to win a coin flip first for that.
I don't know how to flip coins. I'm not good at that.
Anything else?
You guys have maybe 15 to 20 countries represented on the team. It's kind of a broader piece I'm doing. I mean, what is it about the sport, maybe as opposed to others, that allows you to draw guys from all over the world into one group?
Well, I mean, it's just the international nature of the sport, and like, I think I've told you guys this before, I mean, if you travel around the world, if you can juggle a soccer ball, you get accepted, by most everywhere where you are, because it's a common language, even if you can't speak the language. And it's what draws all these guys together, and then the opportunity to play in the United States is something that's unique and interesting to many of our players, whether it's coming through the college system, having been overseas and then coming through the college system and making it into MLS, or coming over as young players like somebody like Cordell Cato, is doing, or coming over as more veteran players like a Montero or a Flacco or Rosales. So it's something, obviously the United States still has an appeal to it as a country, and for us, our soccer is getting better and better, and people want to be part of that and play in it, and the beauty of the sport is in its appeal across the masses.
What are some of the challenges, I guess, that you deal with, and how you kind of overcome those?
Yeah, challenges are obviously everybody's got different personalities and traits, characteristics, and how you approach things, and everybody's country is a little bit different. So some people respond a little bit better to, an arm around the shoulder. Some people respond a little bit better to maybe more gruff motivation. For some people, sharing is important. For some people, they're not going to be demanding or outgoing, because that's not the way their culture is per se. Others are going to be more demanding, more outgoing, because that's the way their culture is. So you gotta blend all that together, and I think as long as you keep a good mix, I think it all works out. What ends up happening is if you become a little lopsided, then you maybe have a segment or a click that breaks off. But that's something I think we've done a good job here of not having had happen, and it's allowed us to be successful on the field.
Your thoughts on New York and what makes them dangerous?
I mean, obviously, our understanding is Henri will be back, and Marquez will be back for them. So they've got high-quality players. Henri and Cooper together have been very goal dangerous up front. Dane Richards is always somebody who presents issues and problems because of his speed. So that makes them a dangerous team. I mean, you can never relax with them because they're a pretty good ball possession team. They're pretty good at opening spaces up, and obviously they got guys who can finish when they get those opportunities.
They asked me to do an ad, and I thought, cool. They want me because I play for the Seattle Sounders. Then I find out it's because my wife told them I'm a good dad. Even better. For me, being a good father is much more important than soccer. So here's my message. Be a good parent. Stay involved with your kid's life. Do something with them, anything. Take a walk, read a book, maybe go see a Sounders game. We can make it better for our kids by staying involved and showing that we love them.